It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.
Matt Dugan, the principal of Evergreen Park Community High School, on this program today to talk about curriculum changes and some great projects going on and fun stuff over at the high school, so you are up to date on everything going on over at 99th and Kedzie. And Rich Daniels, a musician, a local musician here in Evergreen Park, who puts on one of the best shows of the year, the annual holiday concert, coming up this Sunday. We're going to get into both of those guests, find out what's going on with them. Before we get into that, a quick reminder for you, Porter Cullen's over at 99th and Clifton Park, one of the great restaurants here in Evergreen Park, offers traditional Irish cuisine, including the legendary corned beef egg rolls, Guinness battered fish and chips, along with an ongoing rotation of homemade daily soups, weekly sandwiches and salad specials, and monthly food and drink pairings, from fresh fish tacos to mushroom ravioli and everything in between. Porter Cullen's has you covered. See more at portercullens.com. Without further ado, the EP Podcast kicks off right now. Found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the EPPodcast.com. Joining me in studio, a return guest that I think we talked to last year probably, because he's got this big event that goes on each and every year in Evergreen Park right around the holiday season. We have Rich Daniels, the leader of the City Lights Orchestra. How are you, Rich?
Good, Chris. Nice to be here again. Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you for stopping by. New digs.
Yeah.
And there'll be new digs the next time you see me, I'm sure. We're very mobile these days when we do this. You have coming up this Sunday, the 21st, the big Rich Daniels and the City Lights Orchestra holiday concert. It is the hottest ticket in Evergreen Park. They give away these tickets, and I think they run out of them officially weeks in advance. I've already noticed that they're not even mentioning it in their promotion for the Village emails anymore because all the tickets are there. But you're telling me not only is this thing going to be big and huge like it normally is, they might open up the balcony. There might be a way to squeeze a person in or two. Tell me a little bit about this event.
Absolutely. I would say that no one has ever been really turned away without a ticket. If people show up, if they may have to wait a few minutes so people with tickets come in, but they can still enter. They'll find room for them. You know, the nice thing, they're pews. They're not seats. You can squeeze people into a pew, so you just people to, move in a little bit. So this will be, I think, the 14th year we've done this concert at Holy Redeemer. It's the Village of Evergreen Park's concert hosted at Holy Redeemer.
Right.
And the capacity of the house is 1,200, but they'll exceed that, or they'll come up with at least that many bodies for it. It's a really a joy and a privilege to do it every year. And this will be our fourth and final concert of this holiday season. We've just done 3. The third one concluding last night, and this will be the fourth and final one of the holiday season. And they're lots of fun. People will be engaged. They're gonna hear our guest soloists. They'll include Linda Clifford, who's a 5-time Grammy-nominated artist. They'll include Suzanne Palmer, Paul Marinaro, who just got back from touring in Italy for 2 months, Paddy Homan, the Irish tenor from Cork, who's a fan favorite here on the South Side. People adore him. And then we're also going to have another special guest, the young lady who has taken over the music program at Holy Redeemer, Ansley Rainwater. She came from St. Barnabas, and now she's at Redeemer with Father Tom Hurley. And it's a big shift and a big change in the right direction for the music and the ministry at the church. So we're going to have Ansley sing something too. And then there will be one other special guest artist. They'll have to come to the concert to find out who that is.
Paul McCartney, everybody.
No, not. But it should be an enjoyable moment if he goes through with it and does what I've asked him to do. So, but something special, something fun, lots of holiday favorites, some sacred music, some secular music, a little bit of everything so people can enjoy it. And that's been the code of the show ever since we put it together almost 25 years ago when we started presenting Christmas concerts. Excuse me. And then started moving forward with other venues and whatnot. So it'll be great joy. I hope people can come out and join us.
And you got a new sound system over there. That's the other thing. I know Father Hurley decided that he was going to upgrade everything there. I don't think you don't have mics on the stage, but your singers are going to really enjoy the fact that the sound system's upgraded.
Well, the sound system is upgraded at Holy Redeemer. It's great, and it's wonderful for what they're doing, but we always bring in our own concert audio system.
Okay.
So everything is close mic'd. Everything is close mic'd, including the vocalists, of course, who have vocal mics, but all the entire orchestra, the 40 members of the orchestra, is very close mic'd and controlled that way. Because in any environment, especially environments that are acoustically challenging, like a church, the more control we have over the audio, the better it's going to sound. So everything is, it's a very lengthy process during the day for them to set up, get everything right. So it's all very close mic'd, and it's all controlled by our mixing council.
I mean, here's the thing. It seems like something that probably takes an awful lot of time to organize. You got to bring in the guest vocalist. You got to make an entire plan for it. There's a lot of prep for it. And so I could very easily say, okay, well, it's that. That's the reason why it's such a big deal every year. But what do you think is the reason why it is a hot ticket and people want to come in and see it? What do you think is the big draw? Besides, of course, your charisma and what you're putting on the table.
I think the big draw is people want to feel good at Christmas time. They want to gather in community. They want to experience something that's inspiring and emotionally uplifting to them. And I'd like to think we supply that. I think that, we want to touch their hearts. We really do. And that's why we enjoy doing these programs for our orchestra. We call them community service programs. So the musicians' fees that they receive are far less than what they would receive when they work for me during the course of the year on a corporate show, on a gala, on a recording project. So they're giving of their time in a very substantive way to the communities to do these programs.
When it comes to song selection, when it comes to what you're going to do, is it you going, this gets a reaction? Is it you going, people request this all the time? Is it personal preference? Is it because of the vocalists? They tell you this one's really in my wheelhouse. Like, how do you figure out the program?
It's all of that. It really is. The program is developed by all of what you just said, including the fact that you don't want to reinvent Christmas. I mean, we could do a couple of things that are new and different for the holidays, but people want to hear White Christmas. People want to hear O Holy Night. People want to hear the things, because you hear them once a year. There's only 30 days a year from Thanksgiving to Christmas that we hear this music to begin with. So doing it once a year and repeating it every year, people enjoy it. They want it brings back memories for people. It touches them in really indelible ways. Music has that mysticism about it. So when we create the program, we want to make sure we're touching those things that people are going to always react to. And then there are certain things that certain performers really excel at. So Paddy Holman, the Irish tenor who'll be with us, when he sings as the Irish tenor and he sings O Holy Night, the crowd usually jumps to their feet because it's so emotional. It's so packed with punch and so packed with polish, and it's so wonderful the way he creates it. It's something that we couldn't leave off the program. He's just amazing when he does it.
So you do these programs around the holidays, but this is not all you do. And so that's something I want to kind of shine a spotlight on, because you're a professional musician right here in Evergreen Park. You're an Evergreen Park guy, and you're a professional musician, and you put on shows, your orchestra plays all over the place. What do you do on the other 11 months? Like, tell people what the City Lights Orchestra is up to and what you're up to normally throughout the year.
Well, the short answer is I work as a music director, so I get hired by corporations to do their shows and whatnot. More years ago than now, I've really I'm at a stage in life where I'm picking and choosing what I want to do. So there are a couple of key acts I still work with. One is Warren Haynes, the great guitarist who was with the Allman Brothers for 22 years. He was with the Grateful Dead after Jerry Garcia. He has his own thing, and so he has an orchestra program he does. And we've done it everywhere from New York Central Park to Red Rocks, and it's an extraordinary program. So I tour with Warren every year or two, depending on what his schedule is. And we actually have an album coming out finally in this early part of 26 that we recorded live in Asheville with the Asheville Symphony with Warren Haynes. And so we're going to tour that album this year coming up. So things like that are a lot of fun. They're engaging, takes me around the country. They're big orchestras. They're lovely concerts. Warren's a wonderfully talented man. The TV world, probably not as much as I used to do. I worked on 11 different TV shows in 12 years. But that's a younger person's game. That's a game that's filled with a lot of youth and a lot of vitality. And I was never young when I was young, so that's a whole other issue. So, but I don't really have the need or the desire to sit on set for 14 or 16 hours a day like you have to do on those shows and be there. So some of that. But the big project I'm involved with these days is building a scoring stage and a music campus at 41st and Halsted on the south side. Myself and two partners have taken over the old Stockyard Bank building at 41st and Halsted, which is a replica of Independence Hall, only bigger.
Really?
It's Chicago. It had to be bigger. So they built Independence Hall, and it's just magnificent structure, 101 years old. So we took that on. We took the vacant land across the street. The vacant land is where we're going to build a state-of-the-art scoring stage, which is where you record music for television and film. Never had one in Chicago. We've never had one in the Midwest. And film and television is growing by leaps and bounds in Chicago.
Oh, it's very big here. Yeah.
So this is a necessary piece of infrastructure that's missing. So I'm working very hard on making that happen. It's close to a $90 million project. So the Stockyard Bank building will house a production facility, some offices, a learning center, because we want to educate the next generation on how to do this. It's going to have a massive learning center. It's going to have a cafe, all kinds of amenities. And across the street will be the state-of-the-art scoring stage with the post-production facility for ADR and Foley. All the things that Hollywood needs when they come to Chicago to finish a film, including the ability to record a large orchestra. So we're working hard on that. That's been a big project. We're working with state and elected officials. We're working with the city of Chicago, and we're working with philanthropy, and we're working with grants and foundations because we formed a nonprofit to do this, which is out-of-the-box thinking for doing something like this, but it's because of the educational component that people are embracing it and wanting to support it in a big way. So that's occupying a lot of time. So touring with acts, creating the scoring stage, and doing the occasional gigs for long-time clients who call. We want to service them and make them happy. So in concerts like this, at Christmas time, we live for this. It's so much fun. Like I said, this will be the fourth and final one of this season coming up on Sunday. The first one was with the Cardinal. We do it every year. It's called the Cardinals Christmas Concert. It's over on Roosevelt Road with the sitting Archbishop of Chicago, who's now Blaise Cupich. It's the 10th year we've done it with him. Prior to that, we did it for 6 years with Cardinal George. And then we do the second concert at Holy Name Cathedral called the Rector's Christmas Concert. That was this past Friday. They had a packed house for that, too. And that's the rector of Holy Name Cathedral, a man named Father Greg Sakowitz, a longtime friend. And it's a joy to play inside that iconic building. I mean, Holy Name Cathedral is 150 years old. It was rebuilt right after the Chicago fire.
Yeah, I have to imagine that's a great place to go play in. Yeah,
it is. It's inspiring. It's just an awesome space. The third concert was just last night at St. Barnabas in Beverly. The very first time we presented a concert over in Beverly, and it was well attended and enthusiastic crowd, and we enjoyed seeing everybody over there. And then the fourth and final one will be a lot of fun. It's our home parish where my wife and I have lived for 37 years, and where our children have been raised, and where they were educated. And people come from still all around to be a part of this program on Sunday. And we encourage your listeners to please join us on Sunday. It's 7 o'clock show. It's a 90-minute set, 7 to 8:30. We'll promise them for 90 minutes they can close their eyes, sit back, forget their troubles, let the music waft over them and enjoy what they hear and think back to the memories that they have attached to this beautiful time of the year.
That's awesome. You were mentioning like the different things that you do, and the thing that popped into my head is, I was a rock disc jockey. I did that for 10 years. I've been around a lot of bands backstage. I've seen some of them who say, we're going to do an orchestral arrangement around like one of our modern songs, whether it be a rapper or a hard rock band or something like that. Have you ever had somebody come to you for that? And if they did come to you for something like that, would that be something that interested you?
That was our specialty for many years with corporations.
Who'd you play with?
Garth Brooks, Ray Charles, who's the guy who had Mr. Richard Page?
Okay.
Dennis DeYoung. There's a litany of artists we put orchestras around who wanted to have orchestra. I mean, a whole litany, Chris, of wonderful artists.
Is that hard or is that fun?
No, it's fun.
Yeah?
It's fun. The Garth Brooks thing was actually more surprising and fun than ever I would have imagined. This was back at the peak of his popularity, like 25 years ago. And he had never sung with an orchestra. It's a rhythm section with a full symphony around him. But he was super talented, super intuitive, and very gracious and fun to work with. Ray Charles, Ray had done orchestra dates for years, so us to do it with one, we did many dates with Ray Charles in Chicago, New York, all over.
That's a guy I would imagine was just fun to work with, easy to work with, because he was a talented artist. Yeah.
The challenge with Ray was that, he has no vision. He's a blind man, so you couldn't make eye contact. You couldn't do the things you do with artists that just catch their eye for a second or whatever, or communicate. So unless somebody took you over to him, you couldn't even meet him. And all the concerts we did, there's a movie on his life that really depicts his management style. And the manager around him really was very protective and let no one near Ray. It was a control issue. So I want to say of the 35 or 40 shows we did with Ray Charles, I shook his hand maybe once, I can recall.
Huh.
It was just, they'd bring him on while we started the rehearsal. He'd stay for 15 minutes. He'd say hi, and he'd wave to the orchestra. He'd play, he'd sing, make sure the audio was right, and he'd walk off. Wouldn't see him at the show. So it was an interesting way to work.
And the thing is, he can't pick up, like you said, visual cues.
Right.
So is it you going, okay, we're going to go, but you're almost paying attention to what he's doing? Or was he so talented that he could pick up in his ear what you were doing and get in line rhythmically with you?
Oh, yeah. He didn't need sight to do what he did. We followed him. These charts were custom to the way he would ordinarily play it, just with an orchestra built around it now.
Okay.
And it was very, very accessible, very easy. And he was so professional. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what we were doing and what he was doing. And, it's not like to chance. It's not something, these programs are very structured. And even with somebody who doesn't have sight, he knows audio-wise what he's going to be hearing around him. And so those were great programs. like I said, the number of artists we did orchestra programs with was staggering. Corporations enjoyed presenting artists in that light. We would do a big show for McDonald's in Orlando every 2 years. They would bring in 16,000 attendees from around the world who were franchisees of the corporation. And they would try to create a show that you couldn't buy a ticket for. So they would bring in Sting, who would appear with Seal, who would appear with David Foster, who would be there with Reba McEntire.
That's crazy.
All together, right? It was something you couldn't buy a ticket for.
And you get to get in the middle of it.
Yeah, right.
That's the fun thing.
It's called the referee.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. So, and it sounds like you really enjoy those.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, if somebody all of a sudden said, like, I want to do this with you, you'd be like, yeah, I'm down. Like, for sure.
Yeah. We still do orchestra programs for various artists. And like I said, I enjoy touring with just myself and my baton, just, going out. But it's nice when we bring the musicians with us, too. But it's always fun and engaging, these orchestra programs, whether it's with the Warren Haynes, who I still tour with. But again, it's just me as a conductor, I go out for that. Or when we take the orchestra on part of a program, so...
Every time you come down here, I always get a great story out of you. Yeah. That's why I bring you in here. I could replay the interview every year about this concert that's coming up at Redeemer. But I know when I ask Rich Daniels a question, I'm going to find out the Ray Charles nugget. I love that. That's just the coolest thing. And again, Sunday this happens on the 21st. It kicks off at 7:00. It's a 90-minute show. You have an incredible list of artists that are coming in to sing.
Yeah.
You have a surprise planned for everybody.
We do.
You're gonna tug at the heartstrings and bring out the old favorites and do some fun stuff. And I've got my 4 tickets. I'm ready for it. Yeah. I got my 4 tickets.
Wonderful.
I'm ready to go. And if you don't have your tickets, it sounds to me like Rich is saying, show up anyway.
That's right.
We'll find some space for you. Get you in at Redeemer at the church.
Doors open at 6:15.
Okay.
Concerts at 7:00 sharp.
Awesome. Rich Daniels, City Lights Orchestra. Where do people check you out if they want to learn where you're going to be at or anything like that?
If they want to find out what we're up to, you can go to the website that's under my name, richdaniels.com, and they can find. We don't have a lot of public stuff on that site, and we don't have a site where we list the concerts these days. We have an email list that's ginormous. We send to 12,000 people. But I'm reluctant to advertise how to get on the list right now. I don't know how to do that.
That's okay. I found my way on it recently.
Okay,
I noticed I'm on your list, so I'm paying attention. So it can't be that hard because I didn't even know how I got on it. I ended up on the thing. Rich, thanks so much.
Thank you, Chris. Lots of fun.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them.
It is now time for your EP podcast, Word on the Street, brought to you by Spoken Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. All kinds of wines, great small plates, perfect for friends, date night, whatever you're doing. I was there on Saturday. It's always so much fun to get there. That game room they have in the back is beautiful. The lunch menu, if you're not there on a Saturday night or a weeknight and out for dinner, you can do lunch there. The lunch menu is amazing. And they have these tastings. They'll do tasting events. They're always different. The ones going on here in December, there's food, there's wine, there's the stories behind the wine. It's a great price. Make sure you check them out. Again, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. See all the details at SpokenVineWines.com. The Office of Citizen Services wants you to remember that on the third Thursday of each month, there's a senior council luncheon. Kicks off at 11 a.m. So this Thursday, the 18th of December, you have musician Eddie Carroza Jr. and a lunch of baked ham and a little business meeting and just a lot of fun for the seniors. RSVP to reserve your space. Tickets are $10, can be purchased at the Office of Citizen Services. They're also doing indoor walking at the Community Center, 3450 West 97th Street, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 to 8 a.m. Do as many laps as you want to, at whatever speed you want to, but stay warm and keep active. Visits from Santa are happening here in Evergreen Park. It's going all the way through Christmas Eve on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and then on Christmas Eve. You want to get an appointment, 20-minute intervals. Santa will visit your home, see the kids, has to be an Evergreen Park home. Call 708-229-3373 to get yourself scheduled. And finally, let's take a look at what's going on with the youth department. They're having a holiday bash, actually, this Thursday, December the 18th, from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. Activities include cookie decorating, games, Elf on the Shelf, holiday sweater competition, and more. It is open to students grades 5 through 12. Come one, come all, over to the youth department. Once again, at the same address as the Office of Citizen Services. It's all at the community center. It's at 3450 West 79th Street. Almost forgot that. Let's get to the next guest before I screw something else up. Principal Matt Dugan of Evergreen Park Community High School now. Joining me in studio right now, been a guest on the show a couple of times. I love hearing what's going on over at Evergreen Park Community High School, and their principal, Matt Dugan, is nice enough to stop by. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for having me back.
Hey, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. You know, I'm sure you're very busy. I would imagine it's the end of the semester, and it's also, you know, just like it is for me, you got to buy presents and you got to get all your holiday stuff together. Are you able to juggle everything running a school like that and still making sure you got everything ready for the big day?
Trying, right? So, I think my wife carries a lot of that burden there, helping out. So, but no, it's great. I think we're winding down pretty well here. I think everyone's looking forward to the break. But at the same time, yeah, it's a busy time of year. So we're getting in. Kids are getting all their last minute paperwork in. Teachers are excited for that upcoming 2-week break. And so we're looking forward to the last couple of days here.
Awesome. All right. So I know that you're always making changes. You're always looking at the curriculum. You're always trying to find out what is new, exciting, things that kids want to take. I know you always talk with your students. That's something that I've brought up a couple of times to people, that I'm amazed at the amount of input you take from your students, and then try to figure out how to craft things that are going to be educational for them, but are things that they're really interested in. Have you added anything new, or are you adding anything new right now?
We are. And so again, thank you for referencing the students. They are, again, we meet with them monthly and kind of go over things going on in the schools, any potential changes. And so we do have 3 new courses that are going to be running next year. And again, 2 of them are directly from the students saying like, hey, these are things we want to see. So one of them off the bat is we have advanced placement computer science principals talking to the students who are more computer driven, want to go and pursue that after high school. They've referenced, hey, it'd be nice to have advanced placement computer science A, which is more coding directive, allows you to get college credit directly in computer science.
And the coding thing is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I have a friend of mine that does coding. I know my son who's into robotics, and he's talking about going into electrical engineering. He took coding classes this year. Like, that's something that, like, there's a lot of potential in that field. So it's a big deal that you guys are doing that.
A lot of potential in the field. The students recognized like, hey, we love computer science principles, but if we can get A, which is a more advanced version of that advanced placement class, gets you directly college credit in computer science when you get to most universities or colleges. And it's something that we just, in talking to our teachers and talking to our students, it's something that we feel would benefit our students that are going in that direction. So we're going to have that class next year. We're not getting rid of computer science principles. We're still having that as an option as well. So we're expecting students to take both over the course of their time at our school. So we're excited to see how that plays out over the next couple of years. We're also adding College Writing 2. And so that's typically for seniors. It's going to be for seniors that have probably taken advanced placement in language as a junior and looking for more of a writing-based course going into their senior year and then going off into college. So as you know, going into college, a lot of your papers are going to be research-based, writing-based. And so regardless of what field you study, and we feel like this course is going to help prepare our students even better for college. So that's why we're having College Writing 2.
And that's also really good because, look, there are 2 types of classes if you can knock it out in high school. Or if you get to college and you're like, man, it's going to be difficult. Maybe I should take that at community college over the summer. Like, it's those English classes, those writing comp classes, because they can get really, the professors in college can be a little bit harder. They really can be. So if you can get the credit for that, or a math class, like those are the ones you want to knock out as many as you can because they're prerequisites And otherwise you're in there and you're in like this giant room in most cases and nobody cares if you're making it through that class. So it's best I always feel like those are the best to do in high school.
Well, I took, trust me, I took college algebra my freshman year of college because I wanted to get it over with. I was like, let's get this done. I'm going to be a social studies teacher. We're not taking any math. But this is for those students that, again, you regardless of what subject you study in college, for the most part, you're going to have to write papers. And so this is going to help those students with specifically writing for that at the college level. I call it like AP, writing light because it's right there, right? So we have a lot of students, they'll take AP language. They're going to take 4 or 5 AP classes their senior year, and they're like, do we really want to take another AP class with AP literature? They want to focus on writing more than the actual literature. So this is that nice little branch where...
Oh, so this is not, it's not college, it's how to write a college essay.
It's basically...
I misunderstood.
It's college writing too. So they actually receive credit for it. It's a college credit course, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so none of our students, not one student that graduates Evergreen Park High School will have to take a 99 course ever at any college or university or Moraine Valley because we do not even have classes. Every class we offer already meets the threshold for any university or credit. So students don't go in taking a 99 course. The rigor of our courses are so high that no matter what, they already go into college at the 101 level. If that's where they're going to start, they can't start any lower than that. College writing is going to give the students an advantage when it comes to writing those papers in college that we all had to do back in the day.
That is an advantage for all your students. That's really, really awesome. Yeah. Are there any other curriculum ones? Or
the last one would be Heritage Spanish too. So Heritage Spanish was a class that we started a year ago, specifically for our native speakers. It was kind of a segue because we have students that speak Spanish at home or they're familiar with Spanish at home, and they really, taking a Spanish 1 or a Spanish 2 really wasn't reaching them the way that, talking to our native speakers, it really wasn't the class that they were the most excited about. And one of the students equated to me, it's like, hey, Mr. Dugan, it's like if you took an English class at the 2nd grade level, like let's say you couldn't read and write it the best, but at the same time you spoke it at home. If you're taking a class at the 1st or 2nd grade level, you're probably going to be pretty bored when you're 15 or 16 and talking to our students, like, oh yeah, that's right. So this heritage class brings in a lot of the culture from Latin American countries as well as Spain, with specifics to Spanish. And so then our students can not only learn Spanish, but also the culture of the countries where Spanish is spoken. And so our segue now is going to be Heritage 1, Heritage 2, Advanced Placement Spanish Language, and then Advanced Placement Spanish Literature. And so those students that are taking this pathway, we're expecting them to get to 2 AP classes by the time they graduate Evergreen Park High School. So pretty excited about that as well.
Interesting to me because any natural Spanish speaker that I've met will, and I think most of them will tell you that, like, depending on where in Latin America or Spain they're from, it's a different cadence, it's a different speed. It's a different, like, certain things are used more or less. It's not like somebody from Spain is very proper compared to, like, say, somebody from, like, Puerto Rico who's talking 5 times faster than them. Like, there's a difference. And so that class probably is wonderful for those students because it gives them a little bit more and they're not bored.
And we have students from Mexico, from Colombia, from all over parts of, whether it be North America or South America, we have students from all over. And so, yes, we specifically highlight the differences in culture and dialects and phrases and how words are used differently within those cultures. And so it's kind of exciting for students to share that part of their culture out with each other. So they get extremely engaged in the class because, again, it's specific to them or their family or their grandparents' family. And so it's exciting to see those courses grow. We have a huge student interest in it. So we're excited to see the students take those courses. We're excited to see them challenge themselves and push themselves to those advanced placement classes as well, because our native speakers have been extremely successful in the advanced placement language class in the last couple of years. And so we're looking forward to them not only being successful on that, but growing and taking the advanced placement literature Spanish test in the future as well.
One of the things that I think is really cool, you come on the show and talked about it before. I've seen a few Instagram posts. You got a couple of students that are with Evergreen Park Fire Department. Yep. And let me get this straight. They're there full time. Yeah. Like, this isn't like they're running over there after school to play fireman for an hour, or that it's like
they get 3 hours. They get 2.5, 3 hours a day.
Right.
So it's,
But this is their class, right? Like, they're not taking math. They're not taking English. They're not taking Spanish. They're taking fireman.
They take those classes maybe earlier in the day, but right around 12-ish, they get to sneak out of our building and they get to head over to the fire department. And they're there from 12-something until 4 o'clock most days. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I can't thank Chief Hochek and Chief Murphy enough just for everything they've done to make this a reality. It was something that I think I annoyed them for a couple of years about it and talked to them about it. And, they thought it would be a great opportunity for the students of our community. And so again, just what they've done for our students. And I got parents calling me talking about it, saying like, hey, this is, my son loves this. This is the thing that he's really excited about. And we do have 2 students doing it right now, Sean and Alberto. And the feedback from them is they want to take this course in the second semester. I mean, they're loving this so much. They want to forego whatever elective they have senior year or second semester, and they want to take the same exact thing with those guys again. They want to keep learning. And so, the fire department's been amazing in training them. They're at the fire department. I mean, they're not in our school. They leave our school to go there, and they're practicing not only doing like evacuations. Eventually, I think they're going to go to the burn house and put out like a trial fire and stuff like that. So hands-on experiences, getting to experience, get to go out on a call and travel with the fire department on a call, obviously not participating as firefighters, but as spectators and observers, learning how the different roles within the fire department go from chief all the way on down. I think they're going to get to do like a investigation on on a fire to the cause of it. So they get to learn every aspect of it. I couldn't thank them enough for everything they've done for our students. I think it's pretty incredible.
I would imagine the men and women of the Evergreen Park Fire Department also enjoy having them around. I mean, it breaks up a little bit of the monotony. Any of the firefighters over there, have you heard from any of them anecdotally, what they think?
I've heard the boys are doing great.
Yeah.
We did post on social media. It's funny because we have a social media internship class that went and took the pictures. So we have students taking pictures of other students that are doing right, and then creating the content for our social media. And the social media students are like, this is awesome, And so we just had an elective fair. We have an elective fair every for the 3 weeks for the sophomores and juniors and freshmen, so they can choose their classes for next year, right? We already start the process for next year now. And so it was nice to see the boys represent in a firefighter internship class at the elective fair, students asking them a bunch of questions about what it's like, how is it? And they're just talking it up, saying how great it was, how exciting it was. And, the fire department's been great in communicating to the boys. Like, not only are you going to go through this process, but you need to get your EMT, certification / license, because that is basically required of every fire department in Illinois at this point. If you don't have your EMT license or certification, you're not going to find a job in any basic firehouse, I'm pretty sure, in the area. So they're working with the boys on that. They're studying, and it was nice to see because we even have more students now wanting to sign up next semester once they're aware of this. So again, it is that promotion of this type of opportunity. Having grown up in this area, again, I keep reiterating, like, our students, just opening these doors for them is something that we're excited for. And then specifically in a career like this, where it's a great career opportunity, again, you can give back to your community in a service job, and it's a great paying job as well. So we're excited to see the potential of this growth down the road for not only these students, but the Evergreen Park community, with the students, potentially coming back to the Evergreen Park Firehouse as employees down the road in the future.
I'm always surprised at how well-rounded that the whole approach is, because you and I have talked before on this show or off the show. Like, your goal is like you want to give everybody a chance to go to college, and you want to find a way for them to pay for or have somebody else pay for it as much as possible. Yep. And that's why you do all the advanced placement classes, and you're always trying to work with the idea of getting them the right financial aid and the grants and all these different things that they can be available to them. But you're not just laser focused on that, because you're also like, okay, they may not want to go and do that, so you have these other programs that you're running, and they still are going to graduate with a high school diploma. The kids that are trying out the firefighter thing, if they don't like it, they haven't made a choice for the rest of their life by doing this. And so you're just keeping open doors and giving opportunity, which is just refreshing to me. I mean, there are times where I'm jealous of this generation because nobody took care of us this way.
No, it's completely different back in the day. They didn't have this type of approach. I mean, I think there was, you could leave school if you had a job, and that was pretty much the only exception. But now it is hands-on, get the experience, and then save yourself from spending money on something where you get to the end game and you're like, hey, this isn't really something I want to do. And I'm thinking about teachers specifically. We have an educational internship class that runs, and the students get to go work at the feeder schools. And some of them, by the end of the educational internship, are like, I'm not going to be a teacher. And I'm thinking, great, you didn't go to college and waste 4 years of tuition and then go to student teaching and realize that's not for you. So that's the point of our other internships. It's to experience it before you actually have to commit to it. And then, if you love it, well, now you know what you want to do. And if you don't, then you now know that's something that you've eliminated. But at the same time, we're putting students in position to not just have jobs, but have careers, life-changing money, and then set themselves up for the rest of their lives. And that's really the goal. And then you have students that, like I said, don't want to go to college. That's fine, but we're going to help you find a career, not a job. And we're going to find you something that you're going to be successful in for the rest of your life.
Anything else going on with either this year, or you got something coming up in advance you want to tell me about, or is it all just keeping track of where the madrigals are going? Because they're everywhere.
The madrigals are everywhere. We got a lot of fun winter stuff going on right now. We just had our winter concert the other night. The madrigals were performing at that. They're performing at OSF. We're performing all over the community.
They're going to be on this show. We're going to have something before it may come out on Christmas Eve. I'm doing a special just with the madrigals.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. You're going to see them everywhere. They do an amazing job representing our school and our community. Couldn't thank them enough for all that they do, giving back at this time of year, just brightening people's spirits and making people feel good about everything going on. Breakfast with Santa's tomorrow on Saturday, so we're excited about that. Just a lot of fun activities going on here. We're excited. The new prop shop construction will be done, so the theater students will have a new giant prop shop for all their supplies. Is desperately needed because, again, all the great performances they put on, they got to put all that storage stuff somewhere because they're reusing a lot of the stuff. They're not buying a lot of stuff. They're creating these things and then they reuse them later and for other shows. So they got a new prop shop coming, which actually opens up room for our heating and air conditioning classroom, which will start in January. So we're excited for that as well. So we're looking forward to that. Again, talking about trades and other opportunities.
I mean, there's something for everybody.
Right? So we got that coming now. So we got heating and air conditioning and so again, we're just putting students in the little fields that they find to be the things that they want to do after high school and put them in position. So right now we're excited. We're busy. Students will be selecting their schedules for next year. Registration is going to be coming up for any incoming freshmen. So we have that coming out. Messages are going out to all the 8th graders and start up the registration process in here in January and February for next school year. So it's already planning for next school year. We're at this point of year. So.
Well, listen, if you're trying to figure out your high school, you got a kid that's trying to figure out their high school, you live in Evergreen Park, you have to do a tour. You have to look around. You have to learn about this place. This is not your father's high school. I don't know how else to say it. Like this is a very, very different place. And every time I learn something about it, I'm taken aback by what you're doing over there.
Any family wants to see our school, they can give me a call or an email anytime. I'll give them a tour at any time. So.
That's awesome. Principal Matt Dugan from Evergreen Park Community High School. Have a wonderful holiday. We'll see you soon.
You too. Merry Christmas.
It's the EP Podcast. All things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.